I shit you not, John Travolta was given the direction for the lyric In Heaven. He stands up and points, like into camera, pointing, not up, but like 45 degrees, just like referencing heaven.
That one, right there.
I had to go back and it's so fucking funny.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music
I watched this yesterday in one go. I think I only paused once or twice because I had a couple questions that I needed to write down. But this is like a very similar experience to Chicago for me, where I was just like, oh, I know every beat of this movie. Like,
See, I forgot a lot. I remember the main plot points.
yeah.
But there was a lot of B plot that I had forgotten, and just whole characters that I had forgotten, because my friend Rachel, shout out to Rachel who's going to listen to this episode, loves Grease for all its flaws. And I think the last time I saw it was with her. It's been a couple of years since I have sat down start to finish to watch this film.
I think the last time I sat down and watched it fully through was with you in our old apartment.
What, just like on a weeknight being like, hey, do you want to watch Grease?
Yeah, I know, and this was the one where we just
sang about
this.
Oh my god, I didn't even listen for that. Did you hear it this time?
I couldn't hear it. I don't know where we heard that, but the fact that we both heard someone yell at Danny Zuko, we
No,
just
I know when
sang
it's
about
supposed
this.
to be.
Is it during the pep rally? Because I think that's the only time when the guys are there and he's like pretending to not care about Sandy. And he just sang Summer Lovin'.
I guess. It's like earlier in the film. It's...
Yeah, so that's definitely the pep rally when they first see each other.
We just sang about this.
That's not a lie, guys. We'll talk about that whenever we get to that moment. But man, so Anna, I would like to say for the record that I want to say on like maybe our 5th or 6th or 7th episode, I told you that our 50th episode was gonna be Grease, and you said 50's not a real number.
It's not. It's not. And yet here we are.
And here we are.
Oh, welcome back to the podcast, dear listeners, intrepid heroes. If you're new here, what a doozy of an episode to
Great
pick.
one to start. Fantastic
Welcome
choice.
to 5678, a movie musical podcast where we review and recap movie musicals, and this is our special edition 50th episode.
Yay!
Starting off the new year strong. Welcome 2023. And we are doing the classic movie musical.
Absolute classic.
Grease.
Ugh,
Starring John Travolta,
Delightful.
Olivia Newton John, and so many adults playing teenagers.
just grown-ass
like
people.
middle-aged.
Playing teenagers. 30-year-old people who are older than I am now, playing 17, which is insane to me. As we mentioned earlier, obviously Anna and I have both seen this movie before, multiple times. It is one of our go-tos.
I wouldn't say it's I guess it's a go-to. I think of other things as go-tos. I will say.
Like, when the two of us watch a musical, it's gonna be Hairspray, Into the Woods, or Grease. Like, it's one of those three.
I will say, while I have not seen this film for a while, I want to say within the last 2 or 3 years, I most recently saw Grease 2 for the first time in theaters, and it is bad. It is so bad.
Well, there was supposed to be 3 Grease movies, but the second one was so bad that it canned the third one.
It also, like, torpedoed that lead actor's career.
Of course.
Michelle Pfeiffer turned out okay.
Michelle Pfeiffer's doing just fine.
I would like to say I watched this film. First, I texted Grace yesterday when I started watching, and I was like, why do I have to pay for Grease? And she goes like, you don't. It's on Netflix. I'm like, not in the States, it's not.
No, it's on Netflix.
I had to rent it from Amazon Prime for
That's upsetting.
$3.99, and I was mad about it.
I'm very sorry. I did a quick search and I was like, I'm pretty sure this was on Netflix, and it is in New Zealand, so here we are.
This is a national treasure and it should be free.
Yes, absolutely.
It's also on TV a lot, but like I couldn't line up an airing.
All right, we begin.
On the beach, as all good love stories start.
It's summer, 1958. Summer lovin'.
Having a blast.
So we see two teenagers holding hands, running on the beach, very romance novel, like young love, kind of like
summer
teen
fling
movie,
yeah,
kind
big
of thing.
teen movie energy.
And we see them just sort of playing around. They have a sandcastle. They like throw water at each other. They're kissing. They're like in the surf playing. It just feels like a classic ending to a movie.
Yes, one is a blonde teenage girl played by Olivia Newton John, and one is a dark-haired teenage boy played by John Travolta. And clearly they've spent this summer getting to know each other and like having this romance. We get a scene. We learn their names are, if we don't learn it now, I'm going to just say their names are Sandy and Danny. And Sandy's sad. She's clearly Australian and she has to leave at the end of the summer and go back to Australia. And she's worried she'll never see him again. So we've established that this is taking place somewhere in America that has a beach.
Yeah.
And Danny's like, oh no, don't worry, that's not the end. This is just the beginning of our lives.
And the movie.
And then cut to an animation sequence that I had forgotten about.
It's so weird.
It's so long.
It's so long. So we get this animation sequence, which is basically our title sequence with the song Grease.
Sang by Frankie Valli.
Sang by Frankie Valli. It's all of these, I think they're trying to set the era that they're in, which is the late 50s.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of
pop
like
culture
cartoon
references.
images of pop culture references. Yeah.
There's also caricature drawings of the main characters.
Yes.
John Travolta.
Poor
Stockard Channing. They did her so dirty.
So dirty. Oh my god, she looks hideous in
and
her,
like they did others dirty
caricature.
too,
And
but they
she's
really
gorgeous
did
in real
Stockard Channing
life.
dirty.
Yeah, that one was real rough. Anyway, so this whole sequence ends at a high school.
Yes.
This is Rydell High.
Yeah, it is the first day of school for this high school. It's a big establishing shot. All the teenage kids, none of them are teenagers, running up into the school, and we meet our cast of characters. There are two, I don't want to call them gangs, but like social cliques within this school. There are the boys gang, which call themselves the T-Birds, the Thunderbirds, and then the girls are the Pink Ladies. These are like little gang cliques within the school. So we meet a bunch of the T-Birds. I just wrote like Kaniki and the other three because I don't remember their names.
I wrote them down at the top and then never again, and I had a hard time sometimes differentiating because they're all the same, honestly. Kaniki and Danny are the ones
the only ones I have names.
Are the only ones that have names and character traits that make them identifiable.
Correct.
Duty, Sunny, and Putsy are the same
They're the
person.
same. They're the same to me.
So Danny's back, and the gang sort of asks him about his summer, and he's like, "Oh, haha, you know," and talks about,
I met a girl on the beach.
It was great. We spent time on the beach.
And the guys immediately interpret that of like, oh, you spent all summer hooking up with this mystery girl. If we didn't establish it, Danny is also part of this T-Bird gang.
Yeah, absolutely. He's sort of their leader, I guess.
Yeah. He's the only one with half a brain cell.
Exactly. Then we cut to the Pink Ladies arriving. The members of the Pink Ladies, the leader is Rizzo.
Played by Stockard Channing.
And there is Frenchie, Marty, and Jan.
But first we see Frenchie actually walking into school with Sandy.
Yes.
So they're friends.
I guess somehow they've met.
And it's at this point that Frenchie introduces Sandy to the rest of the Pink Ladies.
It's also revealed that Sandy's parents decided to stay in America, not really given a reason why, but she is now enrolled at this high school.
Yeah, she did not think she was going to be spending her senior year at this high school in America. And it does also establish that all of our main characters are seniors.
Yes.
They're going into their senior year. All right, we cut to the inside of the school. Mm-hmm. We meet the president, Principal McGee of the school, who is such a waiter. She's great. The president of the United States, Principal McGee. We meet the principal and the vice principal.
She's absolutely our waiter, and our vice principal is absolutely our goon.
100%.
Oh, God, she's so good.
The T-Birds are already skipping class, like first class of the day, first day of the year, already skipping class.
Homeroom. They're like, nah.
Principal McGee gives an announcement over the PA speaker that for some reason, National Bandstand is a TV show, and National Bandstand has chosen Rydell High as the model of like the ideal American high school, and they're going to be doing a live broadcast from is it like for a particular dance? Is it like for homecoming or something?
It's like a high school hop dance kind of
yeah, but they don't, it's not like prom.
No, it's not prom.
No.
No.
Okay. They're going to do a live broadcast at a dance
like a
that the
dance
school is going to host.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a nice plot device that's dropped
point.
in our laps.
Yep. So that's announced and everyone's very excited. We also see like in homerooms, the T-Birds are fucking around and playing pranks on people, things like that. So
yeah, they're bullies.
Yeah, they're bullies. So,
cut to lunch.
Yes. Frenchie brings Sandy over to the other pink ladies and sort of introduces her around and sits her down.
It also really quickly establishes that Rizzo and Danny know each other. They like used to go out together, but that's ancient history.
Yes.
We also meet a new character, Patty Simcox, who's definitely like the goody two-shoes type A, wants to be vice president.
Class president.
Yeah. Comes by, introduces herself to Sandy, and also she's like, oh, make sure you try out for cheerleading.
Yeah. Simultaneously, Frenchie talks to Rizzo on the side. She's like, well, what do you think of Sandy? Do you think she could be like part of the pink ladies? And Rizzo's super skeptical. And the thing she says, she's too pure to be pink.
That is exactly what she says.
So basically Rizzo's just like, I think she's too much of a goody two-shoes. She's hanging out with Patty Simcox. Like, that's...
Yeah, I don't know enough about this girl, but she doesn't seem tough enough. Simultaneously, the T-Birds are hanging out on the bleachers by the football field during lunch, just dicking around, making fun of the football players, and they all kind of rib Danny about his summer. They're like, hey, tell us more details about, like, we didn't see you all summer. Tell us about this girl. Simultaneously, the pink ladies ask the same of Sandy because she reveals that she had spent all summer hanging out with this one boy. And then we get our first musical number, Summer Nights.
Yeah.
And it's just a nonsense song.
Yeah. It's a very silly song, but basically it shows that Danny lies to his friends.
Sorry, that really tickled me. It shows that he's a liar.
That he's a lying liar who lies all the time. But basically that he is very susceptible to peer pressure and to the image that he has cultivated as like this fuckboy. And because as we all saw in the opening one, they like kissed and spent time together, but it was a lot more wholesome than what he is portraying to his boys.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sexual references that like he's just sort of hints of all of the sex that they had. And then this is also intercut with Sandy telling about her summer, which feels like a much more accurate representation of how their summer actually went.
And it was a lot more rated G. Like, we got lemonade, and we
he like splashed me with water. We ran around on the beach, like we held hands.
Yeah, we did not hook up. We like held hands and like maybe kissed.
Yeah, there's some super weird lines in this song, y'all.
Oh yeah.
As we all know, Duty is a weird fucking character, but it's just funny that like Sandy's saying all of this stuff and all of the girls are just like, okay, but like, does he have a car? Did he like pay for things? Rizzo's like, this sounds boring as hell. And then all of the guys just like want like the dish down dirty details.
There's so much ensemble acting in this number. I love it. And it sets the bar for how much ensemble acting there is in this film.
There's so much ensemble acting. Oh my God.
But the song ends with both Sandy and Danny still not realizing they now attend the same high school, going, oh, I wonder what my other person is doing right now. Because Danny thinks Sandy's like gone back to Australia. And at the end of the song, Sandy reveals the name of this summer dreamboat to be Danny Zuko. And all the pink ladies are like, oh shit.
No.
But Rizzo is like, shut up. Oh, he sure sounds swell, and doesn't tell Sandy that Danny Zuko goes to this high school. And that she knows, they all know who Danny Zuko is. Maybe you'll see him again.
They all know who Danny is. Well, and she's just like, well, you never know. Maybe he'll just show up around the corner. Like, she's a real manipulative person. Cut to a pep rally. Sandy has joined the cheerleaders with Patty Simcox.
We just burn pyres at pep rallies in the 50s, apparently.
I have never been to a pep rally, so I could not tell you if this is an accurate representation.
This is not accurate representation.
Okay, cool. You didn't have just like open flames?
No, and even like here's the thing, we're watching Friday Night Lights right now where pep rallies are like a big thing. No, there was no open flame.
So Sandy's joined the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
She does the worst cartwheel I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, she's bad at being a cheerleader.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But she also makes eyes at a footballer guy.
And a jock named Tom.
Dumb as a bucket of rocks he is.
Oh man, that one doesn't have a brain cell. No, she knocks, no one's home.
His elevator doesn't go all the way to the top.
A 2-story building.
Take the stairs.
So outside of the pep rally, the T-Birds are out there, and Kanicki drives up with his
brand new
wreck
car.
of a car, which he tells them like, oh, I'm gonna fix it up, it's gonna be really nice, and I'm gonna drive it in this street racing competition with this other gang called the Scorpions.
Yeah.
We also see them drive by. Yeah.
The T-Birds are at this pep rally, but they're hanging out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Lovely plot device. Nikki does exactly what you said, and then the Scorpions do like a drive-by glare of the T-Birds at this pep rally, and I'm like, you're on another high school's property. Like, what? The Scorpions don't go to Rydell.
You don't even go
It's
here.
so silly. But anyway, the pep rally's going on. Sandy goes up to the Pink Ladies, and Rizzo's like, oh, hey, come here, I got a surprise for you. And she brings them all over to the T-Birds and essentially thrusts Sandy and Danny together, and they see each other for the first time. I don't know if this pep rally is supposed to be the first day of school. I don't know how Sandy became a cheerleader that quickly. I don't understand time in this movie, but...
I don't know how big this school is. I mean... My high school, I think my graduating class was like 130 people, so it's like...
I think this is a big school.
Yeah, because I know that there are some high schools where the graduating class is like 1,000 people, so it could absolutely be...
I don't think it's that big,
that,
but I could see it be like a couple
They didn't see each other in the first couple weeks.
Exactly, and also like Sandy's definitely not in the same class as Danny because Sandy's very more academically inclined. However,
Absolutely.
Oh, we have this big reunion. And what's funny about it is they match each other in excitement. They're both like, oh,
Yes.
Sandy, Danny, like, what are you
thought
doing
you went
here?
back. Oh my god. Yeah.
And then Danny gets kind of nudged on the shoulder by the T-Birds because this is very out of character behavior for Danny. They're used to seeing him like be super cool, nonchalant, not give a shit about anything. So this like exuberance is very shocking to them, and they're like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" And Danny's like, "Oh fuck, I gotta protect my reputation." And he does a full 180 on Sandy.
Just like, oh, you know. Just
it's cool.
bopping around and, you know, I don't know. And she's just like, what happened to the guy that I met over the summer? And he's just like, I don't know. Maybe there's two of me. He just says some dumb shit. And I think this is where Anna and I both misheard the same thing, where someone in the background yells something at him, and this is when he's pretending like he doesn't care. And Anna and I both misheard that line we just
so
sang about
funny.
this.
No, it's not a line. It's not
so
a
mad
line.
that's not. It's such a funny thing. It's not a line. We went back. I re-listened. It's not a line. But Anna and I have both
it's so
confirmed
funny.
her that and handshaked that if either of us ever direct this show, we are going to put that line in, regardless of copyright.
It's such a funny fourth wall break.
Absolutely. And just acknowledgement that they live in a musical theater world, which musical theater worlds don't often acknowledge.
No. All right. Sandy is heartbroken by this change.
And leaves.
Yeah, like leaves crying.
And there's this one quick shot of Rizzo, like, smirking at Danny. So I have a feeling, like, their breakup was, like, not amicable. We don't really get a lot of backstory about their relationship.
Well, there seems to be a little bit of contempt from the Pink Ladies for
The T-Birds.
The T-Birds. I don't think anyone looks highly on the T-Birds.
Nah.
So I think there's a little bit of like we're better than you from the Pink Ladies to the T-Birds. It's never like explicitly So, but like the
Stated.
T-birds are ragamuffins.
Hoodlums.
Hoodlums. Hooligans.
Yes. So she does this quick smirk at him, and Danny, while none of his boys can see him, actually looks quite concerned about what just happened.
He's like, oh, I fucked up. Frenchie consoles Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy's like up against a car, dramatically crying.
Frenchie's,
silly.
Frenchie says, don't worry about him. Men are rats. And she goes on to be like, they're not rats, they're fleas on rats. But I just wrote that men are rats. That is the motto of this film.
This entire film, men are rats.
Grease, a feminist icon. And Frenchie's like, you know what's going to make you feel better, Sandy? Why don't you come over to a sleepover at my house tonight? Sandy's like, okay. When I was in high school, I couldn't just like spontaneously go. No! I'd tell my parents. If I was Sandy's parents, I would be like, you met these people 2 days ago. Like, on a school night.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah. Although, to be fair, pep rallies were normally on like Fridays, I want to say.
Fair enough. So we cut to the sleepover at Frenchie's house. This is with all of the pink ladies. And there's a bunch of peer pressure that goes on. So they convince Sandy to smoke a cigarette. They convince her to drink some dessert wine.
Frenchie offers to pierce Sandy's ears. And Sandy's like, I don't think so. Frenchie's like, that'll be fun. And so she brings Sandy into the bathroom and tries to pin her ears with a safety pin. Sandy fully sees like one sight of blood and gets sick.
Jesus. And Rizzo is so over this entire thing. So they have a bunch of wigs, apparently. Frenchie has a bunch of wigs.
Yeah, okay. So it's established in this scene that Frenchie has surreptitiously dropped out of high school and is now going to beautician school because she's going to get her beautician license. That's why there are these wigs, because she's like been practicing.
That makes more sense.
I always wondered where the wigs in this scene came from. It's because she's probably, she's got
like 18 wigs.
Because she's probably practicing on them at home.
That makes sense. So Rizzo puts on this blonde wig that sort of slightly resembles Sandy's hair, and we get our next song, Sandra D.
Look at me, I'm Sandra D. It's just making fun of Sandy's pure, naive image. I mean, it's like further putting distance between how cool Rizzo is and how...
And Rizzo is quite a cruel character.
She uses sarcasm and cruelty to protect herself from being hurt.
Absolutely.
She's rough around the edges.
Yeah. So the entire song sort of mocks Sandy, and just right at the end, Sandy comes out of the bathroom and actually confronts her and is like, are you making fun of me? Cut to the T-Birds showing up at Frenchie's house in Kanicki's wreck of a car. And at first, Danny is just like, oh no, let's just get out of here.
Danny doesn't want to see Sandy after he's humiliated her.
Exactly. And he's about to leave, but Rizzo looks out the window and sees them and says, oh, I'm gonna go with the guys, and sneaks out of the house and starts to flirt with Kanicki in front of Danny, and it feels very pointed.
Yeah.
But Kanicki's fine with it, and Danny ends up just sort of walking away, saying, I'm just gonna go, and leaves. So Rizzo gets into the car with Kanicki, and Kanicki sort of kicks the rest of the T-Birds out, and Rizzo and Kanicki drive off together.
Meanwhile, one of our other pink ladies, Marty, has been writing letters because she's got like a whole Rolodex of pen pal boyfriends. And Sandy asks like, oh, can I have one of those? Sandy leaves Frenchie's bedroom and goes out into her backyard and is heartbroken, like has a little bit of a private moment of reflection about how heartbroken she is that Danny has just been not who she thought he was, and she sings the song Hopelessly Devoted to You, and it is essentially that she is conflicted and is having feelings.
And when you have feelings, you have to sing them. You gotta sing your feelings.
I had forgotten about that one shot where she looks into the kiddie pool and just John Travolta's face
reflection is there.
So alarming.
And then she like puts a piece of paper on top of it, and I'm just like, yeah,
like, wiggles it around.
Wiggle that out. Yeah. It's a good song. I do like this song.
So we get the character development that Sandy is conflicted because she still cares for Danny, but he was an asshole.
That's the theme of the entire movie.
Men are rats.
Men are rats.
Grease, men are rats.
So we cut to a lover's lane kind of deal.
Thank you. That's the word I was trying to think of. I literally wrote make out parking spot.
make you a parking spot. Yes, so we see like a line of cars with like a bunch of teenagers all hooking up in different cars.
Teenagers getting handsy.
Getting handsy. They're getting burgled. And
Oh, excellent throwback. That's a Chicago reference, right?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we get to Kaniki's car. And they're there, they're making out, and Rizzo sort of pauses it and is just like, hey, do you have a condom? And he pulls out like this wilting rubber out of his back pocket that he's had since the 7th grade.
And he's so excited to use it.
And the minute that he unwraps it, it like dissolves in his hands because he's had it since 7th grade. And he's like, it broke. And Rizzo makes the choice that she's going to have sex with him anyway.
Yes. However, when they
Now, they're
interrupted by the Scorpion Gang leader, who does have a
Leo?
name. Leo, thank you. Leo, quote unquote, Crater Face.
Jesus,
Yeah.
right?
He's got a real slick car. It's black. It's got flames up the side. He's got a girl named, who we're gonna later learn is named Cha-Cha. Sorry, I just had a stroke.
Good job.
They must have been at the makeout spot. He clocks that that's Kaniki's car, and he intentionally rams the back of his car into it, and like just dents an already incredibly dented car. He insults Kaneki, and then he drives
exactly.
off. So
And
we
he
don't
also insults
see-
Rizzo.
Yeah. Yes.
But they leave. Now, we don't see what happens next, but it is heavily implied.
But one thing led to another, and ...
Yes, exactly. Fade to black. So we cut to a garage.
Okay, I have always thought this was just like a random garage.
Apparently, it's at their school.
It's at the school. It's the
so
auto shop
this
at the school.
pulls me back to episode 10, High School Musical, where they're just running through the school and there's just a random car garage there. And I was like, why is there a car garage at this high school? And then this one has it too. Is this a normal thing? Like high schools just have like mechanical
Yes.
auto shops?
I don't think it's necessarily regionally specific, but it's a throwback to definitely in this era when we had like wood shop classes and home ec classes. See,
Yeah, I had wood shop and I had home ec.
I didn't have
But we didn't
I didn't have either of those.
like-
I think it might be more
build a car class.
I think there are some schools that involve some kind like it's part of like the hands-on curriculum
Yeah.
similar of home ec and wood shop and like metal smithing classes.
Yeah. Anyway, wild. So this is just at the school. So they've brought in Kaniki's car to get fixed up. And
It's not a school project, but they're just utilizing the resources that they have.
exactly. And we get our next song.
It's the most pointless song.
God, this fucking song, Greased Lightning.
Yeah, so the lead up to the song is that the boys are just giving Kaneki a hard time for how shitty his car is. And Danny's like, hey, do any of yous have cars? And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, no.
Oh no.
Danny's like, I have a vision of what this car could be. It's going to be called Greased Lightning. And that takes us into this song, Greased Lightning, that is essentially a fantasy version of this auto body shop where they're all putting this fantastic, beautiful car together.
Yeah.
The lyrics that were approved for this song?
Yeah. The lyrics in the original are worse.
Than this?
Yeah.
Like the original stage
Yeah.
production. Wait, hold the fucking phone.
We did Grease my sophomore year, so I've seen the stage version. It's role sexual. The fact that one of the lyrics that they sing repeatedly, like in the chorus, is "the chicks'll cream for Grease Lightning."
I mean, I have several questions about how this is done as a stage production. Most importantly, the drag racing scene later, but I know that lyric in particular is rewritten for some versions of "the chicks'll scream."
Well, it's so funny because this song really reminded me of the other car song in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang of
Yeah.
Grow the Roses of Success, where they're just building this car and then it falls apart at the end, because in this one we go into Danny's vision of what this car would be, and then at the very end we like cut back to like their high school metal shop, and they're just like, and the car's still a wreck, and they're like, cool, let's get started. Like,
Yeah. All right, anyway, that is exactly what happens. After this song...
Also, Danny drops in on an engine with a big wrecking ball energy. It's just like Miley appears.
It's a precursor for Miley on a wrecking ball. Cut to the Scorpions just causing havoc in a parking lot.
Mayhem.
All the T-Birds have congregated at this, what's going to be a repeated locale of this like soda fountain, ice cream parlor. I forget the name of it. They're all there, and it's big high school cast going to a diner after the show where like 7 people share one fries order and like don't
ruin
tip.
everything.
But Danny is secondly put out because Sandy is there on a date with that football kid Tom.
Yes. Now, Sandy and Danny keep sort of looking over at each other.
Yeah.
And Rizzo comes over and sort of makes fun of Danny because Sandy's with this Dumbo over there. But Sandy goes over to the jukebox to change the music.
Wait, I have a fun fact about right here. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think so.
So Sandy asks Tom for some money because she wants to go put money in the jukebox, and when she stands up, I literally rewound it. When she stands up, she's all blurry on the edges.
Oh.
It looks like she's been CGI'd put into this scene. And I was like, this is weird. And then I found out later, it's actually not that she's been put in, it's that there was a huge Coke logo behind her.
Oh.
And they had to blur it out for copyright reasons because they couldn't reshoot it. But it's super distracting in that one number when you're watching it on a big screen. And it's so fast. But I literally went back. I was just like, what was cut here?
Yeah.
Thinking that she had been cut. And it was almost like her dialogue didn't match up. But no, it's that they were blurring out the big logo behind her. Anyway, that's it. Sandy goes to the jukebox and Danny is a creep.
Yes. Danny comes over and he tries to apologize, but he's bad at it because he makes fun of her date. He's like, oh, you're over there with, one of the jocks. And this is one of my favorite lines where she's like, oh, are you jealous? And he goes, oh, Sandy, don't make me laugh. Ha, 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 ha.
This is going to be a deep cut reference, but that laugh always makes me think of the king from the animated Robin Hood, where Robin Hood is a fox. And the king. And always makes me think of that.
Spectacular reference. But Sandy eventually is just like, well, at least Tom is like doing something and like is an athlete. And Danny's like, well, I could do that. And she's like, I fucking dare you. And cut to
a great montage of Danny trying all the sports and being bad at it.
This montage is my moment of joy. This montage is hysterically funny. So he tries a bunch of different sports. He tries basketball, but doesn't understand what dribbling is. He ends up punching a guy in the stomach, and he then tries wrestling. It's very homoerotic. Pinned a bunch, and then also punches the guy in the stomach. Cut to him trying to do baseball. He gets into a fight with the ump. And he like grabs his mask and snaps it in his face. It's very silly.
Yeah, because when Danny resorts to violence as an I just hit my mic, as an impulse.
Yes, absolutely. Until eventually the coach is just like, okay, let's try something that's not a team sport. Obviously, you don't play well with others. So, cut to the running track. Danny is running. He's part of the running cross-country team or something, and he's doing hurdles. And he's distracted by Sandy watching him in the stands with Tom. And he does a couple hurdles quite well and then eats it on the last one.
Just beefs it.
Boom, 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 boom.
And Sandy immediately just like, oh, Danny! She runs to his aid.
Yeah. And they kind of get back together in this, and Danny invites her to the dance.
Cut to Danny and Sandy going on a date to that same ice cream parlor, but as soon as they pull up outside, Danny sees that all the T-Birds are there and all the pink ladies are there, and he's like, let's go somewhere else, because he, again, is worried about ruining his image of being like a genuine nice dude in front of these people who think he's this one way. But Sandy's like, that's bullshit. So they go inside, he like hides behind some menus, but immediately the T-Birds and the French ladies, the pink ladies come and just like congregate and take over their date and all order food. Like it's all gonna be like one big hangout.
Yeah.
And Sandy is just oblivious.
Now, Rizzo and Kaneki are arguing at this point, so there's a lot of tension between the two of them. Now, apparently, there was a deleted scene of an argument between the two of them before this that ended up getting cut because it was too gritty. Like, one of the camera operators remarked that it was like something that Martin Scorsese would have filmed. Like, it was a dark scene where they have like this intense argument and then moving into like the ice cream soda shop, and they're like, this doesn't fit the tone, we'll just have them angry at each other and we won't explain why.
They were like, rather than reshoot or rewrite, we'll just cut that and keep moving.
Cut that and move on. Love that. So anyway,
Sandy and Danny are there for like 2 seconds, and then Danny gets so overwhelmed by the fact that everyone's there. She's like, Sandy, let's go. So they leave. Everybody leaves until it's just Rizzo, Kaneki, and Frenchie. We've missed that scene, but Rizzo and Kaneki are already ticked at each other. Kaneki pushes Rizzo so far that she chucks her milkshake at him and leaves. Kaneki follows her, and so poor Frenchie is just left all alone. And at that point, the waitress is like, all right, we're closed.
Yeah, but it's like an immediate just like, and we're closing and shutting down.
Now, Frenchie has been wearing something over her hair this entire scene, and she takes it off when it's just her and the waitress, and it's revealed that she's dyed her hair like bubblegum pink. And she also reveals that...
Honestly?
I think it looks great, but it's definitely not what she was going for, that she admits. She's like, I got the toner messed up, and actually beauty school's been a lot harder than I thought it was, and I've been thinking about dropping out. Actually, lie, I already dropped out. Should I become a waitress? Or like, the waitress is like, don't become a waitress. But she leaves Frenchie alone, and Frenchie bemoans that she wishes she had a guardian angel to tell her what to do. And as soon as she's left alone in the diner, we get a spotlight on her, and we get Frankie Avalon.
The cast on this movie is so crazy. So he is her guardian angel, and he starts to sing the song Beauty School Dropout. The lyrics are also crazy in this one.
I would argue that this song is pointless.
Yes. So is Grease Lightning.
Correct.
I would say that the first song was important, setting the scene.
We've had some good character development songs, and we are going to have more character development songs. Grease Lightning and Beauty School Dropout are filler songs.
Absolutely. So Frenchie ends up going back to school. Cut to the garage. The guys are working on the car, and it's just like a really quick thing, but it's kind of hinted that they're like stealing car parts to put this car together.
Cut to the school parking lot. It's the day of the dance, like the morning of. National Bandstand is loading in all their equipment. Rizzo sees Kaneki and snubs him. They're not going to the dance anymore now that they've had that fight. Kaneki walks away and implies that he's gonna have to find another date, and he knows exactly who he's gonna ask. Marty, who is one of our French ladies, walks through the parking lot with Rizzo. She's like, great, the hottest dance of the year, neither of us have dates. At this point, that leader of the Scorpion Gang drives through not his school's parking lot again. I don't know. This kid clearly doesn't. This full-grown man does not go to school.
Where do you go
But
to
Rizzo's
school?
like, I got an idea. And she hauls Marty with her, and they get into his car. Stranger danger.
Yeah, honestly. And so they get into the car and go off together. So cut to the dance. Everyone is sort of paired up.
Yes.
We have Riz and Marty come in with Leo, but Marty immediately dips and leaves the two of them together. Frenchie is with one of the T-Birds, Duty. Danny's with Sandy. Jan and Putsy are together. And then we see Kaneki come in, and he is with Cha-Cha, who was Leo's girl that we saw in a previous scene.
At the hookup spot. And it's also very quickly implied that Cha-Cha and Danny know each other, and maybe they went out a couple times. Yeah. Like, there's history there. And when Sandy asks, Danny's just like,
family friend.
That's just a person. Yeah. We get a warm-up number, which is the song
Yes.
Rock and Roll is Here to Stay, while the band is setting up and while the finishing touches are made to camera angles and stuff. It's essentially just like a
Yeah.
rough thing for like the cameras to get a feel of the action.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to our host of National Bandstand, Vince Fontaine, a middle-aged man
Now,
who takes one look at
the
Marty, and Marty takes
17-year-old
one look at him, and they're like, but Marty is also just like, I have a thing for older men. Regardless of the legality.
yes, well, she's the one who has
Yeah.
all of the boyfriends in the army, the pen pals. And they are eyes on each other, and it's super fucking weird, y'all. He is pulled onto stage to, like, introduce the thing, the competition, basically.
Yeah, he's the host of National Bandstand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go through the rules. Sandy is nervous about dancing on TV, but Danny's just like, no, you're going to be great. It's going to be awesome. And the dance begins.
And the dance has begun!
And it's the hand jive. God.
Born to hand jive,
So
baby!
good. It's a good song. Am I crazy? I enjoy this song.
I do want to really quickly point out that Sandy's costuming has been pretty demure this whole time. She's in like a white dress for this dance. Danny's in that classic black suit with hot pink accents.
Absolutely.
Anyway, as
Yeah.
the dance goes on, we see more and more dancers getting pulled out or disqualified, and that's done by like tapping them on the shoulder. Rizzo and Leo are kicked out, and Leo and Kinnicky fight over Cha-Cha. Kinnicky does an almost full split, but Rizzo sees Kinnicky dancing with Cha-Cha, and she leaves pissed. Danny and Sandy have a big moment on the dance floor together, and Cha-Cha watches from the sidelines. At one point, after like their starring moment, Sandy is pulled away by one of the T-Birds, and Cha-Cha immediately sees her moment and takes over the dance floor with Danny.
And Danny tries to go find Sandy, but she like
Cha-Cha has her
claws into
claws
him
in
and
him.
just like pulls him onto the dance floor. And then he gets distracted by dance.
And Sandy sees that and doesn't see him trying to go after her, and then she leaves the dance because she's sad that Danny doesn't dance with her now.
Like immediately left her for Cha-Cha. So then we get the big final number with Danny and Cha-Cha dancing together, and they win the competition. And I don't know if you caught this. So you know the final moment where the hand jive ends and they're all like in that big collective group that the camera's
Yeah, like
on.
the final pose.
Yeah, the final pose. Vince Fontaine does a front flip and catches a mic that's thrown to him one-handed. I was like, I went back and rewatched it. I was like, this motherfucker just did a front flip and caught a mic one-handed without looking at it, and that,
Like a somersault?
yeah, not like a standing front flip, but just like
Okay.
a flip walkover kind of deal. So it's not like a full walkover,
Okay.
but it's like that hands on the ground flip forward, crouch, catch,
Damn,
and
I'll have to
down.
go back and watch
And I was
that.
just like, holy shit, bro.
You know why I didn't see that? Because I was very distracted. So you know the mascot of Rydell is a raider, like the Rydell Raiders. There's this
Yeah.
really big kind of scary puppet in the background, and in that last
Yeah.
pose, as they like fall into that, it just gets closer and closer and closer. It like comes up and behind, and then it raises its arms up for the final pose. That's what I was watching because it was so ominous and so scary.
Okay, and I missed that completely because I was so distracted by this man flipping.
All right, we have to both go back and watch this final beat.
We both have to go back. Oh,
Yeah, it's
no.
real ominous.
Ugh, that's so funny. All right. But right at the end, they're like doing the final announcements and wrapping it up, and we have a bunch of T-Birds come in and moon the camera. So they do that. Now the next morning, the principal over the announcement is just like, those pictures are being sent to the FBI, and they have people who will be able to identify
They
you.
have dedicated teams.
Now, Anna, I don't know if you've ever had teachers do this, but we had one instance where we went up to like a Shakespeare festival, and it was like an overnight weekend thing. And we all went as a high school thing, and we were told, do not leave your hotel rooms. Okay. So of course we all leave our hotel rooms and like go and hang out with people in different rooms. And the next day on the bus ride back, the teachers were just like, we are contacting the hotel so that they can send us the security footage so that we will know who left their rooms last night, because we know that you guys did. It was they're like, they're not gonna fucking give you that.
What? Like, what was the purpose of that empty threat?
Oh, it was so...
Just to, like, scare kids?
It was so funny.
That's so funny.
I have no idea, but it had this,
Because see, that would have 100% worked
happened.
on me.
Yeah, this happened in the movie, and I just had a flash memory of like, oh my god, my teachers actually tried to pull that. Like...
That's so funny.
Oh, it was hilarious. Anyway, cut back to the
Okay.
movie.
Cut to the drive-in movies.
Mm-hmm.
The pink ladies all roll up. The T-Birds all roll up. Definitely not there to watch the movie. Danny and Sandy are there on their own on a date. And Sandy is still upset about the dance and how Danny abandoned her. And he's like, I already apologized. He goes, I know you have apologized. That doesn't mean I'm like going to take your apology.
Yeah, I'm still upset. Valid.
Danny gives Sandy his ring. If it's a class ring, I don't know. I don't think you get your class ring until after you graduate. So I don't know what this is. But he gives her a ring, not like an engagement, but like getting pinned, like getting to where someone's
Going steady.
yeah, to like show his commitment to her. And she says, "Thank you so much. This means so much to me, and it means I know you. This means that you respect me." And Danny was like, fuck, I gave this to you so I could get to second base. Like,
I know. No, we cut to the bathroom.
yeah.
Rizzo's in there, I don't know, like checking her makeup or something. And Marty's in there and asks, and because Rizzo's been super off and more aggressive than normal for the past like couple weeks or so. Marty's there and asks what's wrong. And she tells Marty,
Oh, we got the classic line.
what was, oh, sorry, what classic line?
I feel like I'm like a defunct typewriter. What? I missed a period.
Yeah. I forgot about it. Yeah. So she missed her period. So she thinks that she might be pregnant because she agreed to unprotected sex.
She's convinced she's pregnant.
Right. But she hasn't done a test. I don't know what pregnancy tests were in the 50s. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. It's a good question.
She does tell Marty not to tell. And Marty, like, they're walking out of the bathroom and Marty's immediately like, make way, lady with a baby coming through. And it's like, Jesus Christ, Marty.
And Marty immediately tells one of the T-Birds as well. And then we get such a
Yes.
lovely sequence of information
Such a-
passing through the cars.
As Rizzo also walks past. So we see Rizzo in the background walking past and we see the rumor following her down the road until it gets to Kaneki and it's all one shot. I actually really enjoy this shot. Until the info gets to Kaneki and then he goes up to her and, you know, it's just like, oh, you know, I'll help you out.
I don't
Like,
run away
he's-
from my
he's-
mistakes. I'll help you.
I don't run away from my mistakes. And she replies, don't worry, it's not your
Yeah.
mistake.
Just again, her first response is like barbed wire.
Is always anger and pushing people away. He gets upset with that and leaves. Cut back to Danny and Sandy. Danny is a rat.
Men are rats.
Men are rats. And basically he does like the counting this isn't the
1,
actual
2,
thing
3,
that he does.
4.
The
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 trying to get
He like sneezes.
trying
He
to
like
get his
fake
arm, he, like,
sneezes to get his arm around
sneezes
Sandy.
And then he does like the weird like open palm like should I grab her
And Sandy's
tit
like, what the hell are
kind
you
of
doing?
vibe.
And like jostles him and she loses her balance and he falls on top of her and he's like, oh, Sandy. She's like, what the fuck? Get off of me.
Get off of me.
And there's a great quick moment of when she gets out of the car and he goes to follow her and she slams the door and it's implied that it hits his hand or his dick or something and he's just, his face when he like leans back
dick,
reeling in
yeah.
the pain. This is another moment where it's just like, fuck, there's so much physical comedy in this film and I'd forgotten
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely.
She's disgusted in his behavior and she throws the ring back at him like she's like, you only gave this to me just like so you could hook up with me.
She says, I won't stay with you in this sin wagon.
Oh god.
So then we get our next song, which is Sandy.
I think this song is my moment of joy for a couple reasons.
Oh, man. Honestly, it has the same energy for me as the song in High School Musical 2.
I knew exactly what you were going to say.
The green.
Well, yes and no.
Right, exactly. It's a yes and no, but like it's that same teenage boy
It makes me
angst.
think of High School
That's
Musical
the
1 when
energy.
Troy has that like really dramatic song of like, do I do music or do I do basketball? Like,
Oh, right, no, like the intercut in between Get Your Head in the Game, where he's just like, my head's in the game, but my heart's in
the song. Yeah, big energy of that. So there's a couple things. The song is called Sandy. I have the lyrics up right now because I want to reference something. But the lyrics, like, it's Danny feeling sorry for himself. That is this song.
Yeah.
I love the idea that during this song, he's just ruining everyone else's movie experience because he's like standing in front of the projector.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so funny. I also love the line where he's just like, why did you leave me? And I'm like,
like,
sexual
read the
assault, bro,
room.
that's why. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay. There is verse 2 when he is walking up to the swings. He goes, in heaven, forever and ever will we be. Well, okay, the podcast listeners won't
This is
see
just for me.
But this is my giggle. This is my biggest giggle. I shit you not, John Travolta was given the direction for the lyric in heaven. He stands up and points in heaven, like into camera, pointing, not up, but like 45 degrees, just like referencing heaven.
That one, right there.
I had to go back and it's so fucking funny. I need you to go back and watch that because it's so out of nowhere.
Oh no.
Oh my
that's so
God.
funny. I absolutely will.
And the whole song is him not admitting he's made a mistake as he's just like, Sandy, you left me. Why?
Why?
There's no character development in it.
Nah, not at all. So the song ends. Jesus. Ugh. Cut to, it's the day of the race. Grease Lightning is ready.
I have a question. The high school auto shop teacher. I love her.
I love her.
We haven't really established
my hero.
her, but she's been in every auto shop scene because she's always around in the overalls. This woman goes to the race.
Yeah. She's like, nah, I helped you build this car. I'm absolutely going to go to this illegal race with
illegal
teenagers.
race. And she's wearing the high school auto body shop overalls. Ma'am! I love that she's there.
Madam, you are an employee. I think she's great. So outside the school, all of the T-Birds and some of the Pink Ladies are on their way to the race.
Oh, wait, really quickly. Before that, back in the scene, Danny asks Kaneki, he's like, hey, are you sure about this? And Kaneki's like, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Danny's like, says he's worried for Kaneki, but he's like really bad at expressing emotions. And Kaneki says, hey, you know, in that, he like references the movie that they saw at the drive-in, and he essentially asks Danny to be his second, as if it was a duel, and he was Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah. Absolutely. Did he have his glasses on? And then Danny realizes what he's asking, and then they hug, and then they immediately are just like, oh, no homo, no homo, no homo. Like,
Oh, God, the physical comedy is so good.
so stupid. God, boys is my note after that moment.
Boys.
Anyway, so Sandy is going to go watch this race and like try and make sure that Danny's okay. She sees Rizzo, and sort of everyone at school has heard the rumor by now that Rizzo's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandy is just like, hey, I know we haven't been good friends. We haven't really connected, but if there's anything that you need, please just ask. And Rizzo, in kind of the first time, is like, no, thank you for offering, but no. But it was very respectful. It wasn't like the barbed wire that she normally gives people.
Yeah.
And then we get one of the best character development songs.
Such a good character development song. The song is called There Are Worse Things I Could Do, sung by Rizzo as she walks through the halls. And the song is essentially just like, listen, I've made some mistakes, but I stand by them, and I'm not a bad person.
And I'm not a bad
and I will
person
grow
for
from
the
the
choices
mistakes
that
that I
I've
have made, but I don't regret them, kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's an absolutely spectacular song. Cut to the
Thunder
race.
Road is essentially a dry underpass, like an old, not a dam. What's like a river version of a dam? a water highway.
An aqueduct?
Sure, an aqueduct.
Yeah.
It's an aqueduct.
Apparently, this is one of my fun facts I'm going to give now. So there's a whole section of it that has a little bit of water in it that comes into play later. That water was stagnant and apparently rank, and several people in the cast and crew got sick after filming this sequence because of how disgusting the water was there.
Gross.
Yeah.
So cut to Thunder Road, cut to this. The Scorpion gang is there. The T-Birds roll up. They exchange pleasantries, if you will. And it is revealed they're racing for pink slips, aka they're racing for ownership papers. So whoever wins owns the loser's car, which is, when you don't have anything in this world but your car, that's a pretty big deal.
Honestly, it's very similar to jousting, where you could win the person's horse.
That's how jousting works? You win the person's horse?
Sometimes. It depends. There were certain rules, and obviously it changed based on competitions, but in some competitions, not only would you like win the ultimate prize, which was normally like some sort of bauble or something, you would also win the losers. If you unseated them, like if they fell off the horse,
if you are
dehorsed. Now, if
dehorsed.
they just hit... If you're hit and it just breaks, but you don't fall off the horse, you obviously just lose the point, but you keep your horse. Anyway, we can cut all of that. Jousting with grace.
No, I love that. That's a little fun fact. All right. There's a little bit about like lucky pennies, and Kaneki bends over to pick it up, and one of the T-Birds opens the door on his head,
just
fully
knocks
concusses Kaneki.
right on his
knocks
head.
Kaneki and concusses him. And Danny, being his second, has to drive for him now.
Of
Just
course.
then we see Sandy show up to watch, but she doesn't go down to the riverbed. She like stays on the sidelines. And I
then we
cannot
have
believe
Cha-Cha.
Yes, but that teacher that I'm obsessed with, she's there and she tells Danny to haul ass. Ma'am, you are an authority figure.
You are an employee of a school.
These are children.
Wild. So then we get to the start of the race. Miss Cha-Cha is our lovely lady with like the scarf. And normally like what you would think would happen is, because she has the scarf around her neck and she takes it off and holds it up, and normally you would just drop it. But this dramatic bitch, what she does, she has it up and then she just like leans back like in a
bends.
full like whoosh pose, like grandmama is me, Anastasia.
100%. The race begins, and this is when I don't understand how they do this sequence on stage.
You have two cars, not actual cars. Listen, I can talk to you about what we did in our second year college production of this, which is where we used blocks.
No!
And just did like the driving and...
Good.
I don't know how they do it in like a show with actual budget. But so Leo's car has like Mad Max Fury Road spikes on the side of it. And he like rips up the body of the vehicle, which is sucky. But he's like trying to go for the tires so that
Danny
the
will
tires will pop and then spin out.
They go up on the side and they go down, and the Scorpion car gets stuck in that gross stagnant water we were talking about, and Danny wins the race. Haha! Danny has won.
Yeah.
The T-Birds
Yay!
celebrate. The pink ladies that are there celebrate.
Everyone's celebrating, everyone's hugging. Sandy doesn't go down though. She sees this happen and then has a reprise of Sandra D, in which she decides that the best thing to do for this dumbass 17-year-old boy is to change everything about herself.
Like, something's gotta change.
Yeah.
And Frenchie runs up to her, and she's like, hey, did you see Danny won? And Sandy's like, yeah, I did. Hey, Frenchie, will you help me have a makeover?
Yeah.
And they run off together, and Danny sees Sandy leave and has like this very thoughtful look on his face. He essentially has the same...
The first time that look has ever crossed his face.
He essentially has the reprise silently to himself, where he's like, I must make a change for the woman I love.
Yes.
Cut to the next scene, which is the end of school.
Last day of school.
Last day of school. There's a carnival. They have like an end of school carnival. There's like a couple quick scenes. It's funny. A bunch of the T-Birds flunked phys ed, so they have to do summer school. Rizzo tells Kaneki that she's not pregnant. It was a false alarm. They reunite, and Kaneki's like, I want you back, and I'm going to be serious this time. And they make out. They're back together. Then Danny shows up to the carnival and he does not
Yeah.
look like a greaser. He does not look like a
Yes.
T-bird. He's wearing a Letterman jacket and they're all like, what are you dressed like? What is it, Halloween? And Danny's like, no, hey, remember when y'all were just stealing hubcaps? Remember that sports montage I had? I actually ran track all year.
I took phys ed and I did track for an entire year, so I am technically I earned this jacket.
And he's like, I will do anything to get Sandy back.
And he's like, I know that I play around and say that I don't care about things, but I actually do care about her and I will do anything for her.
And just then, Sandy, having had the same conversation with Frenchie, has had a full makeover and now looks to a T like a T-Bird's girl. Leather pants, off-the-shoulder black
Absolutely.
shirt, teased hair, red lips,
pumps,
cigarette.
Smoking a
Fully
cigarette.
changed herself. And we get the song, You're the One That I Want.
I got chills.
They're multiplying. Which is a lyric Grace and I quote to each other a lot.
Oh yeah.
I have chills, and they are multiplying. Anyway, the whole song, they dance through like this like illusion castle thing.
Yeah.
But everyone got back together with their significant others. The song ends, they're all like, oh, we're graduating. Well, what if we'll never see each other again? They're like, no, we're friends for
Probably.
life. And we sing the song, We Go Together, which is the dumbest song.
The ending of this movie, guys, I don't know how many musicals you thought ended with a car flying.
It's
but
more
it's
than I
more than you might
Two.
actually think. Because there's at least 2.
Here's the thing, for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, it's not out of the realm of possibility because we established that the car flies.
No, because
It has not been established that Grease Lightning can fly.
also, this is not Grease Lightning.
It's not, it's an entirely new car.
And then it flies.
The movie ends with Sandy and Danny flying off into the sunset. That's the end of Grease.
That's the end of Grease.
Oh my days.
Anna?
Yes,
Anna?
Grace-icle.
How'd you like this movie?
So we discussed this at the beginning. Obviously, this is a problematic film. Like, I do not deny that. But I was saying that the last time I watched this, I watched it through a very critical lens. So I had that in my mind going in. And having already addressed that, I found myself more able to appreciate the camp and the physical comedy because I wasn't looking for things to critique like I had been the first time. I'm not saying they're not there still, but it was not necessarily my primary focus of this viewing.
Yeah. And then in contrast for me, I think because the actors that play these characters are so much older than teenagers, it never like quite registered to me how bad some of this is. And then this time I was watching it with like a little bit more of a critical lens and it's like, oh no, these characters are 17-year-old children. The thing is, it's like you still have a fucking blast because the songs are great. The dancing is fun. There's so many jokes and the physical comedy is on point.
Okay, let's talk about some dramaturgy.
Yes.
Dramaturgy report. Okay, so this was directed by John Randall Kleiser. He's an American film, TV director, producer, screenwriter, and actor. This was his first feature film. He had previously done several TV movies in the mid-70s, including The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, which he worked on with John Travolta, and that's how he got this film, because Travolta recommended him.
Yes.
He did a lot of stuff afterwards, including the sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Particularly, he did a lot of stuff, but the one other thing that he did that I pulled was that working in 3D film, he directed Honey, I Shrunk the Audience for Disney theme parks.
Oh my god.
Which I've like definitely seen at Disney World.
Amazing.
All right, the cinematographer, very, very impressive. His name is Wilmer Butler. He is an American cinematographer known for, obviously, Grease, Jaws, and the 3 Rocky sequels. He also was the cinematographer for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest after the original cinematographer was fired, and as a result was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Cinematography. He worked with Francis Ford Coppola a bunch, and was offered the option to DP Apocalypse Now, but turned it down. But what's really, really cool is his work on Jaws, particularly how creative he had to be I'm just going to read a quote of when the crew arrived on Martha's Vineyard, Butler, the cinematographer, showed Spielberg how by bracing a camera, he could take the roll of the boat on the waves out by using just like the camera on his knees instead of having to use a gimbal, which was going to add 400 pounds. And Spielberg was like, great! Which means that 90% of the shots that were filmed on the boat were handheld, which is insane. Thinking about how much of that film takes place on a boat, how much of it is rocking on a boat, or rather lack of rocking. That was not fixed in post. That was all the cinematographer doing it handheld. That's what's really impressive about it. And also, he's still alive, and he turned 100 in April 2021, which means he is now 101. Yeah. So both famous for different things, but I thought it was very, very interesting, particularly for the cinematographer doing like Rocky and Cuckoo's Nest and Jaws and Grease.
So this screenplay was adapted from the original Broadway show by Bronte Woodward and the Grease producer Alan Carr. Now, the director took a lot of liberties with the original source material, but he didn't have a lot of control over the musical aspects of the film. Now, the stage musical had a music, lyrics, and book written by Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey. It followed teenagers sort of navigating peer pressure, politics, love, all of that. Obviously, very heavy in the rock and roll theme of the 50s and Elvis and that whole era of music. The original production in Chicago was very raunchy and a very aggressive and vulgar show. And then once it moved to Broadway, it was toned down. I mean, it still deals with like teen pregnancy and like gang violence and like sexual exploration and all of that. But it was apparently the original one in Chicago was aggressive. At the time that it closed in 1980, Grease's 3,388 performance run was the longest in Broadway history, though obviously it was surpassed by Chorus Line, like I think 3 years later. It was a West End hit. It had several revivals. It's a staple of regional theater and summer stock and community theater and high school and middle school, and it remains Broadway's 16th longest running show. Now, the music that was added, so there was music in this movie that was added that was not a part of the original Broadway show. That was Gibson. So he began his career as a studio musician in New York, often working with James Brown. In 1972, he changed direction to become an orchestrator, and he's best known for, obviously, Grease, but he also wrote the Broadway musical Steel Pier and worked on the revival of Cabaret in 1998. He received 4 Drama Desk Awards for Anything Goes in 1988, Steel Pier in 97, Cabaret in 98, and The Wild Party in 2000. So that was the guy who wrote the extra songs for this movie. Now, in terms of actors and casting, as I mentioned when we did Xanadu, I would not deign to talk about Dame Olivia Newton John until we got to Grease. So here we are, team. I'm going to talk about how she got cast. So, John Travolta had previously worked with the producer of Grease, or in Saturday Night Fever, and he had previously appeared as Duty in a touring production of the stage version of Grease. So he was always going to be Danny because of how popular Saturday Night Fever was. And he ended up getting the director, as you mentioned, and Olivia Newton John. Now, there were a couple of other people that originally they were thinking about, but John Travolta was quite adamant that it should be Olivia Newton John. The other names that they were considering for this were like Carrie Fisher, Anne Margaret, Deborah Raffin, Susan Day, and Marie Osmond. Now, Olivia Newton John was very smart and agreed to less pay as long as she got star billing.
As long as this is a vehicle, yeah.
Very smart, because this was her first big movie. She had done like 1 or 2 other small things, but this was her breaking from her singing career at that point into movies. And so she's like, yeah, I can afford to take less money right now as long as I am billed up there with John Travolta. So, talking about Dame Olivia Newton John. She was a 4-time Grammy Award winner. She had 15 top 10 singles, including 5 number 1 singles. She battled breast cancer 3 times and was an advocate for breast cancer research and an activist for environmental and animal rights causes. Now, originally she wanted to become a veterinarian, but then chose to focus on performance because she doubted that she would be able to pass the science exams. She was a regular on several local Australian TV shows. She eventually traveled to the UK to work with a couple of record companies. She recorded her first single, Till You Say You'll Be Mine, in Britain for Decca Records in 1966. Her first solo album, If Not For You, was in 1971, which the title track was written by Bob Dylan, and it was her first international hit. In 1974, Olivia Newton John represented the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest with the song Long Live Love. She finished 4th in the contest, but that was because ABBA was in it and ABBA won. Now, her career really soared after Grease. She became the second woman to have 2 singles in the top 5 Billboard simultaneously. So Hopelessly Devoted to You and Summer Nights were both in the top 5 at the same time. Her comments about Grease and like sort of the film's long-lasting likability, she said, "I think the songs are timeless. They're fun. They have great energy. The 50s feel music has always been popular and it's nostalgic for my generation. And then the young kids are rediscovering it every 10 years or so, it seems. People buying the album is a way for them to remember those feelings of watching the movie and the feelings of that time period. I feel very grateful to have been a part of this movie that's still loved so much." After her cancer diagnosis, it sort of adjusted, it changed a little bit of her music journey. So in 1994, she released Gaia, One Woman's Journey, which chronicled her struggle and battle with cancer. In November 2012, she teamed up with John Travolta to make a charity album in support of the Olivia Newton John Cancer and Wellness Center. Artists featured on that album was Barbra Streisand, James Taylor, Chick Corea, Kenny G, Tony Bennett, Cliff Richard, and Count Basie Orchestra. In January 2021, she released her final single, Window in the Wall, a duet about unity, which she recorded with her daughter, Chloe. Now, just a couple of quotes about her, because obviously she passed earlier this year. Author Lauren O'Neill writes, "She sang with clarity and precision, her high notes bright and open like a window on a summer morning. But her voice was never clinical. A sultry purr, euphoric cry, or breathy gasp seemed always available to her." Michael Dwyer of the Sydney Morning Herald maintains that following Olivia Newton-John's career was like watching our slightly older and braver sister growing up in public, and her passing feels today like a lost member of the family. And final quote, Rachel Sim of The New Yorker also suggests that her familial, down-to-earth demeanor and humanity may have even superseded her singing accomplishments. Quote, "Her most lasting legacy might be as the rare celebrity who was almost universally well-liked and thought of as an essentially kind and warm-hearted person."
Yeah, I support that.
I know her from Grease, but she has such a large career outside of that, especially in the music world, which more in the theater world, I don't have as much knowledge about her different genres, her era that she did. I think my homework might be to listen to some of her music that's not from musicals. Just find what vibe you're interested in, and she has an album for it. Yeah, I think that's going to be my homework.
I support that. Okay. I've got reviews and reception. I don't have a lot to talk about because, unsurprisingly, this was a huge hit. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
It was released June 16th, 1978. It was immediately a box office success. In the US and globally, it became the highest grossing musical ever, eclipsing the 13-year-old record held by Sound of Music, and it held that record until 2012.
Wow.
When it was overtaken by Les Mis. And it still remained the US champion until 2017, when it was surpassed by Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
One review quote that I pulled was, "A contemporary fantasy about a 1950s teenage musical, a larger, funnier, wittier, and more imaginative than Hollywood movie with a life that is all its own," which felt very appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't really need to touch on legacy because we know the legacy. There have been
obviously
multiple sequels, multiple spin-offs. Do you want to talk about singing and dancing?
The quotes talked about sort of the quality of Olivia Newton John's singing voice, and obviously she shined. I thought John Travolta's voice was perfect for this style of singing, like the 50s whiny crooning and falsetto. He's a good falsetto.
Yeah.
And I thought Stockard Channing's song was baller. I think she has a great voice.
Yeah, it's crazy that that's really, I mean, she has Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee, but that's like mocky singing. It's not the same. It's not a ballad.
And I'd really consider that. Nah, but that's the 11 o'clock number. The 11 o'clock number is not by one of the two main characters.
Yeah, that's wild.
Dancing is just a fucking delight.
And one thing I will notice, there are several members of the cast. Everyone can dance. There are some that are better than others, like girl that plays Cha-Cha clearly is a phenomenal dancer, and they gave her time to shine.
Yes.
And I will say, there's so much lovely ensemble acting, and even for our crew of characters, like the more of the supporting characters who maybe aren't strong dancers, they were successful because we established how campy this film can be. They could ham it up and make up for what dance technique they lack by just leaning into the camp.
Yes.
Which I don't think a lot of other musical films that take themselves so seriously could do.
Absolutely. What are your gripes?
Well, what's funny is, and again, I mentioned this, because I wasn't watching it from a super technical lens, I don't have the gripes that you have, but it's simply because, like, I've addressed those gripes on my own time. Internally, I've dealt with those gripes. I can piggyback off of whatever gripes you have, and just, like, when you look at it from a super realistic lens, like a hyper-realistic lens, like, it is cringeworthy in the behavior of these teenagers, the lyrics. But I chose not to focus my energy on that this time.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, my gripes are very much like the stuff that we already know is inappropriate for a grown-ass adult man to be flirting with a 17-year-old high school student. You know, but that's just, it's
like,
Grease.
It exists, and we can address its flaws.
What you gonna do?
What's your giggle?
I mean, my moment of joy was the entire sports montage. So funny. But my giggle, I think my giggle had to be our fucking waiter principal, who's just like, I have sent the pictures of your buttocks to the FBI, and the scientists there have ways of figuring.
My moment of my giggle is Danny pointing at heaven. In Sandy, just because I've never clocked that, and it's in heaven. It's so funny.
So funny.
Oh my god.
Do you have any fun facts?
I used it already, and it was that weird blurring at the ice cream parlor that I was like, why? And then I found out why, and it's because of the Pepsi logo in the background.
I have a few. Originally, in the dance, Sandy was not supposed to dance at all.
Oh.
She was supposed to be sidetracked immediately by Sunny before the contest really even started. But Olivia Newton John was so anxious to do some dancing in the movie, because she doesn't actually have a lot of dancing, even though she's not professionally trained, that she convinced the director to let her dance with Danny in the contest at the beginning and then be pulled away halfway through, because she just really wanted to participate in the dancing, because it's such a dance-heavy show, but Sandy doesn't really dance. Do you have any homework?
I don't.
Excellent. Everyone listen to Olivia Newton John's music. She was an incredible performer and had a huge career outside of movies.
Yeah, which I'm not that familiar with.
Exactly. So that's what I'm going to do today. Anna.
Holy moly.
I think that's all she wrote.
This is 50.
50.
Again, it's not a real number. You are still here. Thank you for tuning in to this special edition 50th episode of 5678. A movie musical podcast. That is literally all she wrote.
Yeah.
I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Thank you all for tuning in. Here's to another 50. Take care of yourselves and others. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.
5, 6, 7, 8. There's no business like show business, like no business I know.